The hidden dangers of multivitamins. Why your daily supplement could be slowly poisoning you. Did you ever wonder if that daily multivitamin you've been taking for years might actually be doing more harm than good? The vitamin industry has been hiding some shocking truths. While millions of people pop these colorful pills every morning believing they're protecting their health, the reality might be much darker than you've been led to believe. The vitamin industry doesn't want you to know this. In this video, I'm going to expose the 8 most dangerous facts about multivitamins that manufacturers don't want you to discover, facts that could change everything you thought you knew about supplements. From contamination with toxic heavy metals to dangerous overdosing risks, these pills may be doing the exact opposite of what you're taking them for. But don't worry, I'll also show you what to do instead. Stay with me until the end because the final danger we'll discuss might be the most shocking of all, and it affects millions of people who think they're doing the right thing for their health. Let's dive into the truth about multivitamins that the $50 billion supplement industry has been desperately trying to keep quiet all these years. The shocking truth about the vitamin industry. What they don't want you to know. When you walk down the supplement aisle of your local store, you're faced with dozens of colorful bottles, all promising better health, more energy, and protection against disease. The vitamin and supplement industry has grown into a massive $50 billion global business, with companies competing for your attention and your money with increasingly bold health claims. But here's what most people don't realize: unlike prescription medications, dietary supplements are not required to be proven safe or effective before they hit the market. The FDA doesn't review supplements before they're sold, creating a Wild West situation where manufacturers essentially regulate themselves. This lack of oversight has led to serious problems. A shocking investigation by the New York Attorney General in 2015 found that nearly 80% of supplements tested from major retailers didn't contain the ingredients listed on their labels. Instead, many were filled with cheap fillers like powdered rice, houseplants, and even potential allergens not disclosed on the packaging. This isn't just misleading, it's potentially dangerous. Even more concerning, laboratory tests have repeatedly found contaminants in many popular supplements, including lead, mercury, arsenic, and even pharmaceutical drugs not listed on the label. One study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that between 2007 and 2016, the FDA identified 776 supplements containing unapproved pharmaceutical ingredients. Many of these tainted supplements contained prescription medications, banned substances, or compounds never tested on humans, yet they remained on store shelves, being consumed by unsuspecting people. The industry has successfully lobbied to maintain this lack of regulation, spending millions on political campaigns to ensure the FDA's oversight remains limited. It's all about profits. While some reputable companies do exist, the industry as a whole operates with far less scrutiny than most consumers realize. This creates the perfect environment for exploitation. The truth is that most multivitamins are manufactured by just a handful of large companies. Regardless of the brand name on the bottle, the same formula is often sold under dozens of different labels. These manufacturing giants prioritize shelf life and profit margins over bioavailability and quality, leading to supplements that may pass through your body without being properly absorbed at all. What's even more troubling is that many vitamins are synthesized using industrial chemicals, coal tar derivatives, and even petroleum extracts, a far cry from the natural nutrients found in foods. But the deception doesn't end there. The dosages in multivitamins are often based on outdated science, with some nutrients included in amounts far too small to provide any benefit. Others are included in megadoses that far exceed what your body can safely process, creating the potential for dangerous accumulation and toxicity over time. But that's just the beginning. Synthetic versus natural. The dangerous difference your body knows. When you look at the label of your multivitamin, you might see familiar names like vitamin C, vitamin D, or vitamin E, but what you're actually consuming may be very different from what nature provides. Most vitamins in supplements are synthetic, meaning they're created in laboratories rather than extracted from food sources. While they may have similar chemical structures, they're not identical. Synthetic vitamin E, for example, is typically listed as D-alpha tocopherol, while the natural form is D-alpha tocopherol. That one-letter difference, DL, versus D, is crucial. The DL prefix indicates a synthetic version that contains both the natural form and its mirror image, which doesn't exist in nature. Research suggests your body only utilizes about half of this synthetic form. Even more concerning, studies have found that some synthetic vitamins may actually increase health risks rather than reduce them. A major study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that synthetic vitamin E supplements increased the risk of prostate cancer by 17%. The same problem exists with vitamin A. The synthetic form, retinol palmitate, has been linked to birth defects when taken during pregnancy, while natural beta-carotene from food sources is much safer. Your body has evolved over millions of years to recognize and properly use nutrients in the forms found in real foods. It hasn't adapted to these laboratory-created synthetic versions. When you consume natural vitamins in foods, they come packaged with cofactors, enzymes, and other nutrients that help your body properly absorb and utilize them. Synthetic vitamins lack these critical components. Think of it like trying to build a house with only nails but no hammer, wood, or blueprints. You have one component but are missing everything needed to make it useful. This is why people can take multivitamins for years and still develop nutrient deficiencies. Their bodies simply can't properly recognize or use many of the synthetic components. Even more troubling, research has found that many synthetic vitamins are derived from petroleum extracts, coal tar, animal byproducts, and even industrial waste products. The vitamin C in your supplement, for instance, is likely made through a process involving GMO corn syrup, acetone, and various acids, a far cry from the vitamin C in an orange. Manufacturers don't disclose these production methods on labels, hiding behind scientific names that most consumers don't understand. It's a form of legal deception. The irony is that many people take multivitamins believing they're choosing a natural approach to health, when in reality, they're consuming highly processed, synthetic chemicals. But perhaps the most dangerous aspect of synthetic vitamins isn't what they contain. It's what happens when you consume too many of them. And that brings us to our next critical point. The overdose epidemic. How multivitamins create dangerous excess. Most people assume that taking a multivitamin is harmless. After all, vitamins are essential nutrients that your body needs. But this overlooks a critical fact: more isn't always better. Many multivitamins contain 100% or more of the recommended daily allowance, RDA, for numerous vitamins and minerals. But if you're also eating fortified foods like cereals, energy bars, and enriched breads, you're getting even more. This creates a dangerous scenario where you may be unknowingly consuming several times the recommended amount of certain nutrients every single day, potentially reaching toxic levels over time. Take iron, for example. While essential for blood production, excess iron can accumulate in your organs, leading to serious conditions like hemochromatosis, liver damage, and heart problems. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that men who took multivitamins with high iron content had an increased risk of death from all causes compared to those who didn't. Similarly, excessive vitamin A, retinol, can cause liver damage, bone weakening, birth defects, and increased pressure on the brain. Yet many multivitamins contain amounts close to the upper safety limit. What makes this particularly dangerous is that certain vitamins, specifically A, D, E, and K, are fat-soluble, meaning they're stored in your body's fatty tissues rather than being excreted when in excess. This allows them to accumulate to potentially toxic levels over months or years of supplementation, creating health problems that may not be immediately linked back to your multivitamin. One shocking case reported in the New England Journal of Medicine described a man who developed vitamin D toxicity from his supplement, resulting in kidney failure that required hospitalization. Even water-soluble vitamins like B6, which were once thought to be completely safe in any amount, have been linked to nerve damage when taken in high doses over extended periods. The situation is made worse by the fact that many people take multiple supplements without realizing the overlap. Your multivitamin might contain calcium, but so does your separate calcium supplement. Your multivitamin contains vitamin D, but you might also be taking an additional vitamin D supplement during winter months. This supplement stacking can quickly lead to dangerous excess. What's particularly troubling is that many healthcare providers don't routinely ask about supplement use, so these excessive levels often go undetected until they cause noticeable health problems. Blood tests for vitamin toxicity aren't part of routine screenings, meaning many people continue taking potentially harmful doses for years without realizing the damage being done. The marketing of supplements has convinced many people that they need ever-increasing amounts of vitamins and minerals, maximum strength, and high potency are selling points, not safety features. And all of this excess comes with financial costs too. Americans spend over $30 billion annually on supplements that may be providing no benefit or even actively causing harm. But perhaps the most disturbing danger lurking in your multivitamin bottle has nothing to do with the vitamins themselves. It's what else might be hiding inside those pills. Contamination crisis. The heavy metals and toxins hiding in your vitamins. When you purchase a multivitamin, you expect it to contain the ingredients listed on the label. What you don't expect are dangerous contaminants that can accumulate in your body over time. Yet multiple independent laboratory tests have found alarming levels of heavy metals in many popular supplement brands. These toxins include lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury. A comprehensive report by the Clean Label Project tested 134 popular vitamin products and found that 40% contained higher levels of heavy metals than allowed under California's strict Proposition 65 standards. Even more shocking, some of the worst offenders were supplements marketed specifically for children and pregnant women, the very populations most vulnerable to heavy metal toxicity. One leading children's gummy vitamin was found to contain over 2.5 micrograms of lead per serving. While this might sound small, lead accumulates in the body over time and is particularly damaging to developing brains. No level of lead exposure is considered safe for children, yet parents unknowingly give these contaminated supplements to their kids daily, believing they're supporting their health. The problem is particularly severe with herbal supplements and whole food vitamins, which can concentrate environmental contaminants from the soil where the plants were grown. Plants naturally absorb minerals from soil, including toxic heavy metals, which then become concentrated during the manufacturing process that turns plants into supplement ingredients. One study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found concerning levels of lead, arsenic, and cadmium in many greens supplements, with some exceeding safety limits by several times. Beyond heavy metals, bacterial contamination is another serious issue. The FDA has found numerous cases of supplements contaminated with Salmonella, E. coli, and other dangerous pathogens. Without strict manufacturing controls, supplements can become contaminated during processing, packaging, or storage. Unlike food products, they don't require rigorous testing before sale. Even more alarming are the adulterants intentionally added to some supplements. The FDA has repeatedly found pharmaceutical drugs in supplements, including prescription medications and banned substances. These undeclared drugs, which have included steroids, antidepressants, and even erectile dysfunction medications, can cause serious adverse reactions, especially in people with certain health conditions. One infamous case involved a weight loss supplement that contained a pharmaceutical stimulant similar to amphetamine. It caused heart attacks, strokes, and several deaths before finally being removed from the market. The problem of contamination is compounded by the global nature of the supplement supply chain. Many ingredients are sourced from countries with minimal quality control or environmental standards. For instance, an estimated 80% of vitamin C supplements use ascorbic acid manufactured in China, where industrial pollution is rampant and regulatory oversight is often lacking. Even products labeled, "Made in USA," may contain ingredients sourced from around the world, with no requirement to disclose their origins. This creates a perfect storm for contamination. While some companies do engage in rigorous testing, many others rely on certificates from suppliers without conducting independent verification. This honor system leaves consumers vulnerable. What makes this situation particularly dangerous is that you won't know if your supplements are contaminated without expensive laboratory testing that most consumers can't access. But perhaps the most insidious danger comes from a specific category of vitamins, those that accumulate in your body's fat stores, potentially reaching toxic levels over time. Fat-soluble danger zone. The vitamins that never leave your body. Most people don't realize that vitamins fall into two distinct categories with very different safety profiles. Water-soluble vitamins, like B and C, generally exit your body through urine when taken in excess. Fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K behave very differently. Instead of being flushed out, they're stored in your liver and fatty tissues, accumulating over time with daily supplementation. This storage mechanism, which evolved to help our ancestors survive periods of food scarcity, becomes a liability in the age of daily multivitamins. It creates the potential for toxic buildup. Vitamin A toxicity, hypervitaminosis A, is particularly concerning. Excessive intake can cause symptoms including nausea, dizziness, headaches, liver damage, and even increased pressure on the brain. In pregnant women, excess vitamin A can cause severe birth defects, which is why prenatal vitamins typically use beta-carotene, a precursor that the body converts to vitamin A only as needed. Yet many regular multivitamins contain preformed vitamin A, retinol or retinol palmitate, in amounts close to the upper safety limit. Take this daily for years, and the risk of toxicity rises significantly. Even more disturbing, the symptoms of vitamin A toxicity can mimic other health conditions, meaning doctors may not connect them to your supplement regimen, allowing the damage to continue. Vitamin D, while essential for bone health and immunity, can also reach dangerous levels. Excessive vitamin D raises calcium levels in the blood, which can lead to kidney stones, calcification of blood vessels, and kidney damage. A study published in JAMA found that high-dose vitamin D supplementation didn't improve bone density or heart health as hoped, but instead increased the risk of kidney stones by 17%. The problem is compounded by the fact that many people take separate vitamin D supplements in addition to their multivitamin, especially during winter months or based on doctors' recommendations. With vitamin D added to many foods and produced naturally in your skin when exposed to sunlight, it's easier than ever to exceed safe levels without realizing it. Yet few doctors monitor vitamin D levels regularly. Vitamin E, once hailed as an antioxidant wonder, has shown troubling effects at high doses. The SELECT trial, a major study investigating vitamin E and prostate cancer, was stopped early when researchers found that men taking vitamin E supplements had a 17% increased risk of prostate cancer. Yet many multivitamins still contain significant amounts of vitamin E, and separate vitamin E supplements remain popular, with some people taking far more than the recommended daily amount. Even vitamin K, which has fewer reported cases of toxicity, can interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin, potentially causing dangerous blood clots in patients who need these medications. What makes this particularly concerning is that symptoms of fat-soluble vitamin toxicity often develop gradually over months or years, making it difficult to connect them to your daily supplement. By the time problems become noticeable, you may have already experienced significant damage to your liver, kidneys, bones, or other organs. Some of these effects may be irreversible. The irony is that these fat-soluble vitamins are essential for health in appropriate amounts. It's the daily megadoses in supplements, accumulated over years, that create problems. But even more concerning is that certain populations face dramatically higher risks from multivitamin use, risks that the supplement industry rarely acknowledges or warns about. Special populations at risk. WHO should never take multivitamins. While multivitamins are marketed as beneficial for everyone, the truth is that certain groups face significantly higher risks that are rarely disclosed on product packaging. People taking prescription medications are particularly vulnerable to dangerous supplement interactions. Multivitamins can reduce the effectiveness of antibiotics, blood pressure medications, and birth control pills. Even more seriously, some vitamin and mineral combinations can enhance or diminish the effects of heart medications, blood thinners, and seizure drugs, potentially causing life-threatening complications. For instance, vitamin K can counteract the effects of blood thinners like warfarin, potentially leading to dangerous blood clots in patients who need these medications to prevent heart attacks or strokes. Calcium and iron supplements can prevent proper absorption of certain antibiotics, thyroid medications, and osteoporosis drugs, rendering these critical treatments ineffective. Individuals with certain genetic conditions face even greater dangers. People with Hemochromatosis, which affects about 1 in 200 people, cannot properly regulate iron absorption. For these individuals, the iron in a standard multivitamin can accelerate iron overload, potentially leading to liver failure, heart problems, and diabetes. Yet few multivitamin labels warn about this risk. Similarly, people with Wilson's disease must avoid copper, yet most multivitamins contain copper in amounts that could be harmful to these individuals. The same applies to other genetic disorders. Those with kidney disease face particular danger from multivitamins, as compromised kidneys cannot properly filter excess nutrients, especially certain minerals that can accumulate to toxic levels. Even seemingly healthy supplements like vitamin D and calcium can cause dangerous elevations in blood calcium levels in people with kidney disease or those taking certain medications. Cancer patients represent another vulnerable group. Some studies suggest that antioxidant supplements may interfere with radiation and chemotherapy treatments, potentially protecting cancer cells along with healthy ones. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology found that patients taking antioxidant supplements during chemotherapy had worse outcomes than those who didn't supplement. Pregnant women must be extremely careful with supplements. Excess vitamin A can cause birth defects, while too much vitamin D may lead to heart problems in developing babies. Even folate, which is essential for preventing neural tube defects, can mask symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency if taken in excess, potentially leading to irreversible nerve damage. People with autoimmune conditions like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, or multiple sclerosis may experience flare-ups from certain supplement ingredients that stimulate immune function. Even those scheduled for surgery face increased risks. Many vitamins and herbal ingredients can interfere with anesthesia or increase bleeding risk, which is why surgeons typically advise stopping all supplements before procedures. Children are particularly vulnerable to supplement dangers. Their smaller bodies and developing organs can't handle adult doses, yet many parents give their children adult multivitamins or multiple children's supplements. What's most troubling is that the supplement industry rarely highlights these risks on their packaging. Instead, marketing creates the impression that more supplements equal better health for everyone. Standard supplement labels contain vague warnings like, "Consult your physician," but few specify which conditions or medications might create dangerous interactions. The reality is that for people in these vulnerable groups, the potential harms of multivitamins often outweigh the benefits. Yet this crucial information rarely reaches those who need it most. But what if there was a better way to get the nutrients you need without these risks? There is, and it's been available to us throughout human history. The better alternative. How to get nutrients without the dangers. After learning about the risks associated with multivitamins, you might be wondering if there's a safer way to ensure you're getting all the nutrients your body needs. The answer is surprisingly simple. Whole foods contain all the vitamins and minerals found in supplements, but in forms that your body has evolved to recognize and use properly, along with thousands of beneficial compounds not found in pills. When you eat an orange, you're not just getting vitamin C, you're also consuming flavonoids, carotenoids, and other phytochemicals that work synergistically to provide health benefits that isolated vitamin C simply cannot match. Research consistently shows that people who get their nutrients from food have better health outcomes than those who rely on supplements. A 2019 study in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that adequate nutrient intake from food was associated with lower mortality, while nutrient intake from supplements was not. Even more telling, some studies have found that when specific nutrients are isolated and taken as supplements, they don't provide the same benefits observed when those nutrients are consumed in foods. For example, while studies show that people who eat foods rich in beta-carotene have lower cancer rates, clinical trials of beta-carotene supplements actually found increased cancer risk in some populations. The magic of food lies in its complexity. Each whole food contains hundreds or thousands of compounds that work together in ways scientists are only beginning to understand. Spinach doesn't just contain iron, it also provides vitamin C, which helps your body absorb that iron more effectively. This natural synergy is missing from most supplements. Additionally, whole foods contain fiber, which is essential for digestive health, blood sugar regulation, and feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Most multivitamins contain no fiber at all. Even the microbes in fermented foods like yogurt, kimchi, and sauerkraut provide health benefits that no pill can deliver, supporting your immune system and overall well-being. If you're concerned about specific nutrients, focus on food sources first. For vitamin D, spend time outdoors and consume fatty fish, egg yolks, and mushrooms. For iron, incorporate beans, lentils, and leafy greens. For those with busy lifestyles, simple strategies can ensure nutrient adequacy without pills. Meal prepping, smoothies with varied ingredients, and strategic use of frozen fruits and vegetables all help maintain nutrition without supplements. If you live in an area with limited access to fresh produce, frozen options are excellent alternatives, often containing more nutrients than fresh produce that's been shipped long distances and sat on store shelves. For those with specific medical conditions that may require supplementation, working with a healthcare provider to identify precisely what you need is far better than taking a one-size-fits-all multivitamin. Targeted supplementation based on actual blood tests showing deficiencies is much safer than blind supplementation based on marketing claims or self-diagnosis. This approach minimizes risks while addressing real needs. If you do need specific supplements, choosing high-quality, third-party tested products from reputable companies reduces, though doesn't eliminate, the risks of contamination and mislabeling. Look for supplements verified by organizations like USP, NSF, or Consumer Lab, which test products to ensure they contain what they claim and are free from harmful contaminants. For those concerned about environmental toxins in foods, focusing on a varied diet minimizes exposure to any single contaminant, while choosing organic options for the most heavily sprayed produce can further reduce risks. Remember that perfect nutrition isn't necessary for good health. Throughout human history, people have thrived with seasonal variations in their diets, occasional shortages, and without the precision promised by modern supplements. Your body has sophisticated mechanisms to adapt to varying nutrient intakes, storing some nutrients during times of plenty and conserving others when they're scarce. This natural flexibility is undermined by the constant high doses in many supplements. The key is nutrient sufficiency, not excess. Once your basic needs are met, additional vitamins and minerals don't provide extra benefits and may instead cause harm. By shifting your focus from pills to plates, you can achieve better health outcomes while avoiding the significant risks associated with long-term multivitamin use. Conclusion. Making smarter choices for real health. We've uncovered some disturbing truths about the multivitamin industry and the potential dangers lurking in those seemingly innocent pills millions of people take daily. From contamination with heavy metals and the risks of synthetic nutrients to dangerous excesses of fat-soluble vitamins and the special dangers faced by vulnerable populations, the picture is far from the wholesome health support portrayed in advertising. What's most troubling is how little of this information reaches consumers. The supplement industry operates with minimal oversight while marketing creates the impression that more supplementation always equals better health. The reality is that for most people eating a reasonably varied diet, multivitamins provide little benefit while introducing unnecessary risks. Yet Americans spend billions annually on these products. If you're currently taking a multivitamin, don't panic. The risks develop gradually over time, which means you have an opportunity to make changes before any serious harm occurs. Consider working with a healthcare provider who can order appropriate blood tests to check for deficiencies or excesses. This targeted approach is far superior to blind supplementation. If you do have specific deficiencies, addressing them with food first and targeted supplements second is typically the safest approach. And any supplements should be chosen carefully from companies with rigorous testing standards. For those without access to testing, focusing on a varied diet rich in whole foods is the most reliable path to proper nutrition. The rainbow of colors in fruits and vegetables indicates the wide array of nutrients they contain. Remember that our bodies evolved consuming food, not pills. The complex interactions between the thousands of compounds in whole foods support health in ways that isolated nutrients simply cannot. The supplement industry wants you to believe that optimal health comes from their products, but the scientific evidence increasingly shows that food is the superior source of nutrition for most people. This doesn't mean that all supplements are dangerous for everyone. There are legitimate uses for specific supplements in certain populations or health conditions. But the one-size-fits-all approach of daily multivitamins is increasingly questioned by nutrition scientists. As consumers, we deserve better information about the products we put in our bodies. Until the supplement industry faces stricter regulation, the responsibility falls on us to become informed. By understanding the potential risks of multivitamins and making conscious choices about how we nourish our bodies, we can protect ourselves and our families from these hidden dangers. The next time you reach for that bottle of multivitamins, ask yourself, is this really supporting my health, or could it be doing more harm than good? The answer might surprise you. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this information valuable, please share it with friends and family who might be taking multivitamins without knowing these risks. And let me know in the comments, were you aware of these dangers? Will you be making any changes to your supplement routine after learning this information? Until next time, here's to your genuine health built on real food, not pills.